Welcome to the Arsenal Present. How we're doing this beautiful day? Yes. Let's start on a light. Is it a lighter note or kind of a disturbing note of the news regarding Lucas Paqueta? Lucas Paqueta is said to be charged by the FA with alleged betting rules breaches in a development that might scupper proposed 80 million transfer to Manchester City. Last summer, right? Lucas Paqueta was supposed to be headed for Manchester City. Then the news filtered through that there were investigations regarding a betting breach they might have been involved in, and that deal was put on ice and was being investigated. Now the charges have been made by the FA, and it's not looking nice for Paqueta. It is not looking nice for Paqueta. Now, before we continue this conversation, let's pause for a little bit and let's actually adhere to our protocol on this channel. Like the video, subscribe, and make sure you turn on your notification bell. Don't forget to strike the like button, very important. Subscribe, and make sure you turn on your notification bell. Thank you for adhering to that. Now let's go back to the story. Lucas Paqueta, very good player. I don't consider him as a top or world class player yet. Maybe might get there. I've seen glimpses of quality here and there, but the consistency of the quality, I don't say it for the hype. But if Man City want him, no problem. Now, the fact that there are chances that he might actually suffer. I'm hearing the rumors is he might be suspended for 10 years. That's a career-ending sanction. If the charges come to pass and he's suspended for 10 years, I'm sorry, the career is over. So any proposed deal to Man City by now, we know is going to be dead in the water. Now, by that extension, people are now linking it to that the fact that Lucas Paqueta might not be going to Manchester City anymore. That means Manchester City are going to turn their attentions to Arsenal target in Bruno Guimaraes. So it should be an interesting battle between Arsenal and Manchester City for the second time in 2 summers. That should be very interesting. That should be very interesting. The battle between Arsenal and Manchester City for certain players. Now, both players, like I said, I don't value. How do I word this without seeming condescending? Good players, in my opinion, close to top players. I don't see them as world beaters or world class players yet. Guimaraes, good midfielder, very combustible, very aggressive, tidy on the ball. Like I said, tidy. They're both Brazilians, but I'm not seeing the kind of Brazilian flair, the Brazilian magic I see from Brazilian players 10 years ago or 20 years ago. I'm not seeing that kind of quality, but in relative terms to what we have at the moment, they are still top. They are still close to what you can call top class players, right? But I don't see the hype. I don't see it. I think there are better players in the market if you scout properly. But I will support, especially Bruno Guimaraes, if Arsenal tries to press the button, push the ball, and try to get him. I will support Bruno Guimaraes, but I don't see him as that player that if we don't get, we are in danger of losing out the title to Manchester City. I don't see it that way. On the flip side, if we get him, I will support him, even though he will necessarily not be my first choice for midfielders or for any midfield addition we want to have this season. He's not my first choice, but I will not be against him. I'll support him. He's still a very good player. Very good player. So the panic stations yesterday on X, we formerly called Twitter, that if Paqueta gets suspended, that means Man City are going to challenge Arsenal for the potential acquisition of Bruno Guimaraes. That should make it as nail biting as it made it yesterday, last season rather. I said yesterday, last summer when Arsenal and Manchester City went for Declan Rice. We saw how that went to the wire. So if Man City want him and we don't get Bruno Guimaraes, I'm not overly concerned. And if we get Bruno Guimaraes ahead of Manchester City, fine. Like either ways, I don't really see the force why Arsenal fans sometimes get into these panic stations over certain players. Players come and go. There's quality in the market. I know there's no plenty of quality when it comes to players these days, but I think when it comes to the midfield, you can still find some quality. I still rate Fafana. You guys might not rate him. Fafana that play for Monaco for a cheaper price. It's not about the price. I've watched him. I saw him at the Emirates Cup, came to Arsenal and gave a good account of himself. He plays for French national team. I consider him a top midfielder. I'm surprised a lot of clubs are not going in for him. And he's very cheap. According to reports, 20 to 20 million pounds for that quality of a player is still young. And for it to go and get Bruno Guimaraes, You need to pay at least £100 million. Decent player, we know Premiership tax. Like, I don't see the hype. Like I said, I will still support him if we go ahead and push the boat for him. And for Lucas Paqueta, if he did a crime, he has to do the time. It's all charges at the moment, right? It's still charges, but it's not looking good for Lucas Paqueta. You should know these betting rules. Players these days cannot claim naivety. You should know what you should engage in as a player and what you should stay far away from. You should know. You should know. I'm surprised these players sometimes take things for granted and think they can get away with certain things. I'm sorry, you cannot get away plenty these days. Maybe 10 years ago, but right now you cannot get away with plenty. So, guys, let me know what you think about this potential head-to-head between Arsenal and Manchester City again for Bruno Guimaraes. Are you concerned or are you stoic? You're just looking at it as saying it is what it is. If you get him, yes. If you don't get him, yeah. Now, if you lose him, will you be concerned? Will you feel defeated as an Arsenal fan if Bruno Guimaraes decides to pick Man City ahead of Arsenal? Will you feel jaded? Will you be unhappy? Let me know in the comment section. And if we pick Manchester City one more time, because we picked them for Rice last season. If we pick them one more time and Guimaraes chooses Arsenal out of Manchester City, we'll be overly excited. Let me know in the comment section. I want to know you guys' input. My input is that two good players. One might serve a potential 10-year ban. According to rumors, that's not me. That's Lucas Paqueta for the betting bridges allegedly reported that I reported that he actually took place. He has been charged with those bridges. And for Bruno Guimaraes, is it that top? Is he a top class stroke world class midfielder that if you lose on, you'll be overly concerned? Let me know because I don't see him as that way. I see him as a very good player, but I don't see him as a world class midfielder. I don't see that midfielder will change our trajectory massively. He will come in and do a good job. He's solid. Availability, tick. Solid in the midfield. The creativity is subjective. Hard tackling, athleticism, tick. He's a good player, but I don't see him adding that. I don't see him taking a midfield from a 7 to 10. I don't see that quality. He can take our midfield from 7 to 8, but is he going to take our midfield to 10? I don't see it yet. I might be wrong. That's how I say, right? So if you see something differently, let me know objectively in the comment section regarding what's his name, Bruno Guimaraes. What do you think about the potential 10-year ban? 10-year ban for Lucas Paqueta if found guilty of those charges. Let me know in the comment section. On your way out, be kind enough one more time. Like the video, very, very important. Subscribe, and make sure you turn on your notification bell. Like the video, subscribe, and make sure you turn on your notification bell. And I will see you guys on the next one. Bye for now.